I saw Lisa relax a little, her eyes shining with what she thought was sisterly support. But, I continued, there's more to this story that I feel I should share with you all today. You see, the journey to this wedding has been filled with a lot of pain and betrayal, at least for me. The room grew quiet, the smiles fading from the guests' faces. I could see Lisa's expression change. She looked confused and scared about what was about to come out of my mouth next. My parents shifted uncomfortably in their seats, clearly not expecting this turn. I took a deep breath and began to read from the letter I had prepared. My parents, Lisa and John, have tried their best to keep this a secret, but John and I were together first. He cheated on me with Lisa, and later on I found out directly from him that he just used to get closer to my sister. This wedding has been a disaster. I was manipulated by my parents, by my greedy ex, and my wolf in sheep's clothing sister, to pay for everything. And I mean that literally. The flowers you see, the cake you see, the caterers here, everything was paid for by me. Against my will, may I add. Lisa and my parents have been nothing but manipulative and remorseless devils in this, taking every chance possible to bleed my pockets dry, to mask my feelings. When I originally told them I wouldn't attend the wedding, my parents said they would disown me. Celebrate this marriage if you want, everyone, but just know you're celebrating lies and deceit. What you see today is all fake. There was more, but that was the gist of my speech. The room was deathly silent as I spoke this, each word like a nail in the coffin. The more I talked, the more I could see the shock and disbelief on the faces of the guests, the anger and defensiveness in my parents' eyes, and the horror and guilt in Lisa and John's expressions. By the time I finished, the room had erupted into chaos. Guests were shouting. My parents were the first to react visibly. My father stood up in disbelief. He tried to shout over everyone, saying that everything I had said was a lie. It was a desperate attempt to save face. My mother was in tears, shaking her head and pleading with the guests to ignore what I had just said, and Lisa and John looked utterly devastated. Some of the guests were yelling, demanding answers from my parents and Lisa. Others were trying to comfort Lisa, while some just looked on in stunned silence, unsure of what to do. The atmosphere was thick and the celebratory mood was completely shattered. One of John's relatives, an older woman with a stern face, stood up and demanded to know why my parents had allowed this to happen. She said that the family should be ashamed of their behavior and that this wedding was a disgrace. Her words seemed to ignite a spark among the guests, and soon more people were voicing their outrage, turning against my parents and Lisa. I didn't stick around to see the full aftermath. I walked out, my head held high, and left the venue. Once outside, I took a deep breath of the cool evening air. I felt a sense of freedom and relief, but also sadness for what had been lost. I blocked my parents and sister on all social media and sent them a final message. I told them that I never wanted to see them again.